I know that you're passionate about learning, you understand the learning business. So I want your opinion on what is the most effective learning method?
I believe experiential learning is the most effective. I think that a combination of all of the learning types, because everybody has a different learning style. So you can attract a certain group of people who can learn off of watching a video, right? But not everybody's going to be doing that. Not everybody's going to be successful with that. And it's important that we're not looking at learning as, okay, everybody's going to learn this way, because we'll lose a lot of value to those who don't learn that way. So by having a mix of all, and that's, again, where we're trying to focus, is giving young adult an experience that has a combination of online, offline, and letting them figure out what's best for them. Right? And teaching them how to tell. What are the clues that you can do? What are the signs that you can see that your learning experience was really impactful to you, right? So that if they get a taste of it all and they can say, wow, that exercise that we did there, that I get it, I understand it, right? And so now I know that if I want to make sure that I'm really understanding the concepts, that maybe I'll do a little bit of this and then I'll apply it here. And so we're teaching them those self-awareness for that, what's my learning style? And again, you know, that can evolve too, especially on the age of child is at, right? So we're targeting 13 to 18-year-olds in our program, and we hope that it'll bring value to younger students too, and by what we do for the teachers in our programs. But want to really make sure that we're addressing the different learning styles and helping students bring the self-awareness of what that means to them. So that, again, where do they feel most comfortable? And you know, I've got 4 kids and they all have different learning styles. My oldest, he has to be in a classroom. He has to experience, he has to touch it. Where my third child is he could read a book and he's good. So, and then my youngest is just learning his, you know, he's trying to figure out what that means for him. So his is very much the flavor of all of those, because I'll give you an example, a story of my youngest child, who's, all my children are amazing, but my youngest is very inquisitive, and he wants answers to everything. He wants to know why. So giving him a book that's about a story that's a mystery is not of interest to him. He doesn't want to read a book that doesn't tell him something or doesn't teach him something. So he gravitates to books that have a lot of visuals and that he learns something that's real. He'll say to me when I'm reading a story, he'll say, did that really happen? And I'll have to explain to him the difference of real and not, and what the author's trying to teach you. And Brandon Mull is an author that I love, and reading in our household is part of daily thing. All my children, 2 of my children walk and read at the same time. But my youngest, I had a lot of challenges trying to get him to have a love for reading. So Brandon Mull helped us do that. And what he does is, Brandon Mull is Fablehaven is the book, the series we're reading now. And I read to him every night for an hour. And we talk about the story. We talk about the points and the messages. And last night there was one section in the book that we were reading, and where it talked about an emotional situation where the young girl was having something was told to her that was very emotional, and she had to talk about it, and she couldn't. She didn't want to talk or respond, and the author described it so well that my 8-year-old said to me, well, what does it mean that her emotions were coming up and she felt uncomfortable? And I said to him, well, you know, she was about to cry, and she knew that if she spoke that she would start crying. And he said to me, well, oh, I know, that happens to me too. So what do you do? How do you stop yourself from crying? And this 8-year-old, you know, my youngest, is very challenged with his emotional management. And we're trying to teach him how to manage it, right? How to not get so upset over something. And I said, well, some people can take a deep breath. They can drink a glass of water. They can go for a walk. And kind of get your mind off of the topic and then calm your emotions down, and that works for you. So sometimes speaking at that moment may not be the right thing to do for you, because it'll get you, you know, very emotional, and you won't be able to manage it as well. So he loved that. So I like to read stories and then really dig into the message that the author's trying to do. And I think that if we do that with our learning experiences the same way, when we apply it, right, we teach it and say, okay, now you've learned all this great stuff. How is it used in the real world? Math and science, and how does it all weave together? And if you look at T in technology and the STEAM, it's in all of them, right? So that's why we're focusing on that, and that's why, you know, bringing a team of people who are industry experts in technology and innovation to teach this other aspects of it in the real world scenarios and give the students an experience can be amazing.